All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to J&L Garage. So today we're gonna be working on the Camaro. I've just got not really anything performance related, but something to help clean up the engine bay a little bit and to help with my throttle sticking issues. Some of you guys may have seen one of these. This is just an eBay. It says it's billet. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's just an aluminum throttle return bracket. And today I'm gonna be getting it put on this quick fuel. This will be the same thing as a Holley. Holley makes these, and a couple of others. So any like 41, I think it's 4150 style carburetor, this will work on. This one in particular is a double pumper, mechanical secondary. But it really should all be about the same. I'm hoping this is gonna work. I haven't test fitted yet, but only thing might get in the way is the coil packs. We're going to see, though. I think we're going to be okay. There's only... I think that's going to be the only issue we may run into. So, other than that, just to get y'all started. So, this is the factory... This is what a factory-style throttle cable looks like on one of these. And this is made to fit a certain joint that came on the Quadrajet style carburetors, I believe, that came on the inline 6 cylinders factory. It may not have been a Quadrajet, but it was a Rochester standard carburetor. And then there's just like it just looks like a little ball that this here will snap onto. So in order to make this bracket work, it'll be a lot easier to show you guys once it's all put together. But let me get this out of the sun. So in order to make this work, this here will mount on that bracket there in that back slot or front slot. And then this centers itself up where that bolt is now, which is just my janky way of being able to rig that onto a Holley. And then this bolt needs to be able to go through the throttle cable. So in order to make this bracket work, this is $20 part from AutoZone, and I think all of them carry them. I think they're all in stock. But this here, as you can see, has got a hole in it, and that bolt there, that little Allen bolt that I just showed you guys that's in this bracket, will fit through that pretty snugly. And then once it's all put together, you guys will see what I'm talking about. But right now, I'm going to work on getting this old throttle cable out of the way and this throttle cable bracket. We're going to get the return springs off and get this rigged bolt out of here. Then we're going to test fit the new bracket and see if it's going to work or not. Alright, so test fitted the bracket to show you guys real quick. The coil packs are a little bit in the way, but there's not a whole lot I can do. Eventually, I want to get a different style air filter to go on here anyways. And I want to relocate the coil packs back down onto the valve cover. Because I can't run a drop base air filter like I want to and like I need to clear this hood with these coil packs up here like this. I love the way these look, but it'll still look good with it down on the valve cover and a matching valve cover and air filter set. So, with that being said, I went on ahead and put the new throttle cable in. It's not hard. I mean, I didn't really see a need in going over it. All I did was, there's two tabs. I guess I could show you on the old one. This end here is the piece end that goes through the firewall. And as you can see, there's just two squeezable tabs right there that you just squeeze and then push this through the firewall. And then I'm going to show you guys on the inside the way this little bracket here works to hold the throttle cable in. Now this is the new one, and I ended up cutting it off, but it's a pain in the ass because of the way I cut it. Now the one that's in here I cut with a die grinder. It's got a nice slice in it to fit right over the cable. I have to find it, but I'll show you guys that whenever I have everything down there. Alright, so we're under here now with the pedals, and if I can find it, excuse this wiring mess. I'm gonna address that later whenever I go to tear the end of the interior of this car. But this is what I'm talking about here. So here on the accelerator pedal bracket itself, there's no slit or anything in that that hole there. So you have to slide the cable through, but there still has to be something to keep the cable from just sliding back out. So this little black piece of plastic here, you can see that slit. I actually cut that in there with a die grinder, or I think I actually used a Dremel wheel because it's thinner, but that just allows you so that way you can spread it over the cable, and then because it still moves here, and so that way I can spread it open and slide it off and on the cable. That way I didn't have to cut my accelerator pedal bracket. So now this will just pop back into here like so, just like that right there. And now this cable won't pull through. So now once we get the spring and everything set up, see right now it's on the floorboard. Once we get the spring and everything set up, that will actually hold the pedal up, so that way everything works that way. So now I'm going to go back into the engine bay, and we're gonna work on getting that bracket mounted on. All right, so got the bracket on, and I've got both of my adjustments made. So quick explanation: this back here is gonna be the throw of your pedal here. So the way I adjusted this, pulled this all the way out. You want it fairly close to center of this hole here, because that means when this is pulled all the way out like this, that means your pedal's all the way up and the throttle's already down here. You need to make sure all that lines up. And then here you're just setting tension. So I just pulled this out here, lined it up there. I've got a little bit of spring tension, nothing crazy, but then as I pull the throttle, then it's going to increase tension, and it should return it all the way, as long as I don't have a bad bushing or something in the carburetor base itself. So now these aren't tight yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cinch these down. Then I'm going to get this mounted up, get my intake bolt back mounted up, get this coil pack back tight, and then we should be ready to see if this is going to work or not. Alright, you guys, so it has been a couple of days, quite a few actually, since the last clips of this video of getting this here throttle bracket installed. And as you can see, it is already on, and it is working. I think in the last clip I was test fitting it and was getting ready to make sure it was going to work. So since then, there's been a couple things change. So there's going to be a video on this, but I've now got my own shop, and that's what we're in. And that's probably going to be the next video that I'll be shooting after this one, just to explain it and give you guys a tour of it and everything. But now this video, the reason that I halted on it the way I did is because I have never liked that air breather that was on here. The little, you guys can look back in the clips, the little oval chrome. It's old, and it just, I never could get over it. I don't know why, but anyways, well, I do know why. It's specifically because I just did not like it. Did not like the way it looked in the engine bay with this engine. It just didn't match or anything. So here is what I came up with on that. The reason I have not been running a normal drop base 3-inch tall 14-inch around filter on this carburetor is because the coil packs were in the way. So that's going to be in this video too, but this is how I countered that, right? So as you can see, there's a whole lot of space here, and over here there's not. You can see how it lines up with the top of the valve cover here, and then how it lines up here. So all I did was flip these brackets. I don't know why I have not thought about this earlier. I've had this set up on this car for forever and just have not changed the air filter because I just thought I could not fit the coil packs on here. If I'm not mistaken, I thought that the coil pack, or the coil plugs, the plug wires were not going to be long enough if I flipped the brackets. But I never tried it. Not once did I even test it to see if that was true or not. Well, as you can see, it works. So with that being said, we got a new air filter to go on here that matches the valve covers. It's another ProForm. This thing is awesome. Looks great. It's going to look awesome under here. I'm ready to see it. However, before we can bolt it on there and check it, we have got to flip these other coil pack plugs around. As you can see, I still haven't flipped these because I wanted to compare the two for you guys. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the way that the instructions tell you to install these coil pack plugs. But as you can see, these brackets here, they're one-sided, right? So you just take that loose. I took my coil packs off and then flipped the bracket completely up, a complete 180. So that's, nonetheless, that's what I'm going to do on this side because I don't want this video to drag on because there's not a lot that went on. I'm going to flip this side. We'll get the extra room we need on this side when we do that. And then we're going to start installing on the air filter, which ProForm sends you instructions on all that, and they send you a couple different stud links to use for different carburetors and different applications. So I'm probably going to kind of skip over that and just get to installing it and then show you guys the finished product. But now I have drove the car with this bracket on it, and this bracket works awesome. I have not had a single throttle stick since, and I have checked this bolt here a multitude of times, and I have no issues. So I'm really pleased with that. 15 bucks on eBay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you just can't beat it. So I'm gonna flip these coil packs. I'll show you guys when I get done with that, and then we'll get to putting that air filter on. All right, so we got this side over here moved over. As you can see, we've got tons of room to mess with here on that carburetor now. So I'm going to get to probably removing that stud there in the center. I don't think we're going to use it. And then I'm going to start getting that other one fitted on. And I'm sure I'll just skip to finished product for you guys. So here it is. All right, you guys. So she's finished up. Looks so much better. That's kind of aggravating. So it's actually, or I think you guys saw it, but the top of it is milled, you know, like a polish, or it's just a milled surface over the top where the Chevrolet and the emblem is. You can kind of see it there. It's reflecting this black off the bottom of the hood onto it, so it doesn't look like it, you know, matches right now. It almost looks gloss black. But anyways, check my clearances. My springs come in contact with the bottom of the air cleaner just as I hit the throttle. However, it does not affect the return of the throttle at all. It works just as it's supposed to. Now, I haven't had it running yet. I am going to crank it up here in a little bit. However, this radiator is old, and it had rust and stuff in it from the old motor. So right now, I'm waiting. I'm going to get a good flush on this thing and fill it back up with antifreeze, really before I try and run it again. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. So another reason that I wanted to make this video is because I got in touch with ProForm and did a lot of looking online myself, and I could not find anyone that was running this setup. The MSD coils with the coil bracket relocation kit, with the valve covers, and the matching air cleaner on a carburetor. I could not find it to save my life. It was all on either throttle body setups, or someone was just running an LS1 intake here and was still running fuel injection. I could not find it to know for sure that it was going to work before I purchased the item. So this confirms it for anyone else that is in the same boat that I was in. This does work. You know, whenever I do some more driving with it, I'm going to make sure that there's no throttle hangs, there's no hiccups in the system, and then that way I can confirm it if you guys comment asking questions or something. But man, it looks a whole lot better under here with the matching air cleaner to the valve covers. The only other thing I've got to check is I got to make sure that it doesn't come in contact with the hood. However, me personally, I do not think I'm going to have any problems with it because the old air cleaner sat about, the top of the nut sat about 1.5 inches taller than what this air cleaner sits completely flush and flat. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues, but I am going to double check it, and then I'll probably won't film that part. It's pretty simple to figure that out. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. It took me a long time to get this out. Be looking forward to the shop video. We've got a lot to do in here to get this into a working environment to where I can come down here anytime I want with my swing schedule at work to do some work down here. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed some more Camaro content. We are hopefully going to be doing a lot more stuff to this car soon, now that we have a shop where we can really dive in depth with it and not be taking up space that needs to be used by someone else. We can really tear this thing apart because this is like pretty much dedicated space for the Camaro, and we can take as long as we need to make sure we take our time and we do it right and get this thing on the road the way I want it to be. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. It was rather short, that's some pretty simple installs. However, sometimes these can be my favorite. Thanks you guys for tuning back in. As always, like and subscribe, and hope you guys have a good one.